Okay, for the first segment of today's session, I would like to highlight this topic regarding groups, how we can understand group, which type of groups that we choose to facilitate, not only the counseling groups, maybe for other occasion, you form another type of groups and uh, you become one of the members or you become the leader of that group. Okay, we can continue to, okay, there are four topics that I want to share this morning, the TRAC model. And then after that, we will discuss about the types of group that forced by ASQA, Association of Specialists for Group Work. And the third topics we'll discuss about the mixed group. And the last is multicultural competence. Okay, the first one is the TRAC. TRAC is the abbreviation of types of groups that firstly proposed by Saltmarsh at 1986. This is the first, not the first, but the quite in the 80s. The group setting was starting to grow at that moment. So some of psychologists they tend to choose this area of expertise, and they build new theories regarding of the group and the group dynamics. So one of them is Saltmarsh with his TRAC. T is for tasking group, R for relating group, A for acquiring group, and the last is contacting group. So he divided this. There are four areas, yeah, for the contacting, acquiring, relating, and tasking groups, yeah, with in this quadrant. From left to right, related to the nature of management, yeah, the role of a group facilitator, yeah, whether they facilitate or whether they lead the group, yeah, lead the group 100% or they facilitate the group 100%. What is the difference between facilitating and leading? Facilitating means that the leader, the facilitator, they help others, but they do not force others to follow him or her. But in the leadership or in the leading type, the nature of management in the right side, yeah, that the leader or the group facilitators, I mean, they lead a lot. They lead how this group works. Yeah, there are top and also bottom related to the nature of group process, how the process within the group. The top here is the process enhancement, while the bottom related to the task achievement. So for the task achievement means that goals of the group is mostly how to finish kind of task. Yeah, one or several tasks. It depends of the group. While the the upper part of this quadrant, process enhancement, means that every members can get a beneficial impact from the group dynamics and help them process their life, yeah, better. Yeah, for example, for the psychoeducational groups, then they learn some new skills, for example, and they adapt to new situation effectively based on what they learn in the group. It means that it's related to the process enhancement. Yeah, it relates also to the each member's goals. Yeah, while the task achievement here, that there are specific goals from the group that they need to achieve, and by the time groups they have specific time, for example, not only in short period. I don't know. It depends on the goal for the organization. Maybe the goals is more like a long-term period. Yeah. While in the group work, maybe the goals is can be achieved in shorter period. Yeah. For example, your own group within this course that you need to like doing some activities, doing group tasks. Yeah, it only lasts for this semester. For the next semester, your group will be diminished. Okay. And this is T. T tasking group. R for relating group here in left bottom. Contacting. Okay. They also serve like a catalytic function. Process recognition, yeah, encounter group, mutual concern group, laboratory group, therapy group. Yeah. They learn something new here that more related to their internal process, individual process within groups and using group dynamics. And TRA, acquiring group, access and expansion of information and awareness. There's group discussion. Okay, psychoeducational group can also be included in this type of groups, acquiring groups. Yeah, because yeah, education group, they learn some new information, new skills, new knowledge. Yeah, okay. And everyone in that group, yeah, the group members after the session, they have new insight that will be beneficial for themselves as a person. Yeah. Later, the TRAC, yeah, we can use it, yeah, to this model to explain how groups that start out in one major area, tasking, may move into other areas. Yeah, for example, relating. Okay, so for this quadrant, we can switch at a specific moment. Yeah, after, for example, after you have finished your task in tasking groups, then you build more like a cohesiveness within the group. You feel like you have a close relationship with your friends. In the beginning of the group, you just feels like, oh, this is my teamwork, so I need to finish the task for this semester with them. But during the process, it can be the process can be enhanced, and they move to in this area for the process enhancement, that you feel comfortable with your friends, that you share a lot of things maybe during the process of finishing your tasks with your groups, and you have more time spent with them, and you feel very comfortable, and you may think that, oh, the groups can shift, you know, from tasking groups into acquiring group, or maybe for the contacting group, or maybe the relating group. Yeah, it depends on what kind of a relationship that later built within the group members. Okay, for the other examples, here is the KKN, yeah, KKN group. Yeah, at the first time they joined a group because there is an open recruitment, for example. Yeah, we need a member for KKN. Then you join the group and do the KKN for about 2 months, living together in a certain place. For example, then you feel like knowing each other better. You understand each other, and you get closer with your friends from KKN. So after KKN, you still join the WhatsApp group or a line group and still have chats with them, and yeah, you become friends, and not only because of to achieve the goals, from tasking group, but later you have built the relating group as well. So there are several example here for the KKN and also field work practice, just like in the picture here in the slide. This is students from Magister Magister Psikologi Profesi that they conduct field work practice in lembaga pemasyarakatan. They work on this PKPP, we call it, for the field work practice at about 2 months. So they build their group for shift from a tasking group to another type of a group. They evolve, okay, and yeah, it can be happen that they will have reunions, yeah, group reunions after the task group done. And this is another example, yeah, from the class, and there are two kinds of groups here. This is an education group, and this is a sharing session from the group. Yeah, so from here we can understand that from the diagram proposed by Saltmark, they can switch, yeah, from one box to another boxes. Okay. So it was the forerunner of the ASGW, Association for Specialists in Group Work, SGW, yeah, in the United States. It stated that professional standards for the training of group workers, yeah, we can use for a type of group that we now discuss based on ASGW. There are task group or working group, psychoeducational group, counseling group, and psychotherapy group. This is the comparison of 4 types of groups, as you can see here in the slide. 4 aspects that you can compare: emphasis, setting, size, and duration, number of sessions. For the task work, I already gave you the example maybe for this semester. For this course, you have a groups that you need to finish a group task. Yeah. So the emphasis is promote efficiency and effective accomplishment of group goals. So you have group goals. What type of goals? Yeah, for example, how to finish a paper and prepare PowerPoint materials for presentation, for example. So very clear goals, and this is a group goal. Yeah, all of members they support one another to finish the goals. Yeah, how to finish the paper, how to finish, how to compile the material for PowerPoints, for example. That's the group goals. Setting. The setting of this type of group almost in any environment, working setting, for example, in organization, in a company, and for school or campus, like what you do currently, and religious settings, community organizations, civic groups, and others. And the size of the group work best with 12 or fewer members, not not more than 12 members, right? Because if there are more than 12 members, then the group consists of a lot of people that for the goal accomplishment, I think it will be more difficult, to divide the responsibilities and manage a lot of people at once. Okay, if there are a lot of people, more than 12, then for this type of group, they need to divide the members, yeah, if it's within the organization. So there will be subgroups for another specific goals. For example, you divide the goals into small goals, yeah, small goals that after that delivered to each of the subgroups within the groups. Yeah? If the groups is larger than what we have today with 12 members. So I think it's ideal for you to have your members in your group, 6 or 5 members, yeah, for this course. I think 6 members will be ideal. And duration, number of session, it depends on the task. If more difficult tasks that you need to handle, so maybe you need longer period or longer time to finish it. But most tasks or groups last from a half hour to 2 hours. This is for per session that you do with your groups to finish one task. Yeah, if you have more difficult tasks, then you need to spend more time to finish it. Meetings may be regular or spontaneous depending on objective and whether the setting is formal or informal. So, for example, if you need to like finish your task, you have deadlines from lecturer, then you need to calculate how many a session that a group session or group meetings that will be needed for you all to finish the task. Yeah, I agree with this that it is very depend on your objective and also the setting, whether it is formal or informal. For the informal session, then you can just phone your friends and okay, let's hang out here and finish our task. Yeah, for example, that's an informal. So you can do not only finishing these tasks, but maybe with some other activities like hang out. Yeah, like enjoying reading or music or coffee in a coffee shop, for example. So maybe not only focusing on the uh, like task and not only for the task achievement. And the second type of group that we have is psycho-educational group. The emphasis is acquire information and develop related meaning and skills. So for the members, they gain new knowledge, new information after they join the group. Yeah, the setting that usually use this type of group are hospitals, mental health and social service agencies, educational and religious settings, work environments. Yeah, they have what we call here is training. Yeah, in bahasa training or pelatihan. They usually conduct this type of activities to provide and to support their members with new information, new knowledge, and new skills. Yeah, last last month, yeah, at the last month, January the 30th, I joined pelatihan, kind of psychoeducational group activities related to the specific case of ADHD, in adult clients. Yeah, I joined a group with uh, apa itu shrink psikiater dokter ini dokter anak and psychiatrist and also a psychologist and nurse. Yeah, we joined in a group there are activities, or we have 6 workshops, yeah, or within 3 weeks, yeah, 6 workshops within 3 weeks. So we discuss, and we join the sharing session from other practitioners, not only from psychologists. I heard also from the psychiatrists and pharmacists, yeah, ada juga pharmacists. They talk about a kind of drugs that can be used. Kok drugs sih? If we call it drugs, medicine, yeah, if we call it drugs, then the connotation will be negative. But okay, I will change it into a medicine, kind of medicine that needed by individuals to help them maintain the symptom of ADHD, yeah, in adults client. Yeah, that's the example of psychoeducational group. After joining that groups with 6 session of workshops with different topics, yeah, I acquired new information about handling those clients with ADHD symptoms, starting from uh, uh, adolescent, young adults, and also adults, yeah, with symptoms of ADHD. Okay, how to help them to maintain their life and managing their life effectively. Okay. Yeah, the size is quite larger than the first type of group. Yeah, I believe around 40, or for the group, I think 50 for my group with the workshop that I have explained earlier. Duration, number of session, yeah, I have 6 workshop in three weeks. So Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, starting from 8 a.m. and we finish at 5 p.m. Quite long duration. But for each topic, yeah, we discuss around 1.5 until 2 hours. Okay. Because the members are mostly also working in the weekdays, so yeah, I can understand why the committee conducted this activity at a weekend, and they compact the schedule in Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. is quite long duration here, because we cannot make it if the agenda held on weekdays, because we have another activities and works to do. Okay, that's for the example for psychoeducational group. And let's move on to the third type of group, the counseling group. Yeah, the emphasis is on prevention, growth, yeah, remediation, interpersonal, and group dynamics. The setting that mentioned here are schools, universities, mental health agencies. Mental health agencies, what is the example? What do you think about mental health agencies here in Indonesia? What are the examples of mental health agencies? What do you think? Mental health agencies.
Or the volunteer.
Volunteer. Mental health agencies. Maybe like division of this is the specific examples. I don't know whether it fits or not. The division in LM. What do you call it? Sekar. That itu loh, dopamination.
Yes.
What is the name of the division?
Oh, curhat with counselor, ma'am.
Oh,
The group counseling one.
okay. Yeah. So, but because LM is in the university setting, so maybe yeah, it's more suitable to put it in the universities. But for mental health agencies, it more like for the public, yeah. For example, yeah, volunteering in kind of activities like public services, startups, yeah, maybe around that. Okay, for the size of group members for the counseling, it would be ideal around 8 to 12 adults. Yes, some smaller size for children because we need for the group facilitator, they need to like giving more attention, yeah, for the children. So it will be better for the children only in maybe five or six members, for the group counseling in children. It may vary depending on whether open or closed-ended groups. Yeah, for the open group, I think they can just come and go. Yeah, for uh, they see what kind of what topic that will be discussed in this session, for example. So maybe they want to join only for 2 session or 3 session, and they choose, yeah, for the session that fit with their needs. Okay, so maybe the members, the size of the group will also change, yeah, following the dynamics of the group itself. So duration and number of session for counseling around yeah, 20 minutes is the like the shortest, and 90 minutes or an hour and a half, yeah, is the average length for adults. I think we cannot say it like for 2 hours because it will be overwhelming. So yeah, 1 hour and a half will be great. Regular meetings usually set in a weekly settings. So they meet once in a week. But for other groups, maybe counseling in the counseling groups, they based on the consensus of the members, if they want to have like twice meetings in a week, yeah, then it can be facilitated. It depends on what kind of agreement that built, yeah, in the counseling groups, yeah, from the group leader, group facilitator, and also the group members. They have a specific agreement, especially before the group started. Okay, and the last type of the group is the psychotherapy groups. Yeah, the emphasis is more in the personal and interpersonal problems of living. So we say here that there is statement here regarding problems of living, some severe, remedial, and also reconstructive. So based on the table here provided by Gladding, yeah, this is the resource of this table, yeah, in this slide from Gladding. Counseling groups and psychotherapy groups, they have differences in the emphasis, and also we can see in the setting that psychotherapy is more like we can say that the problems is more severe than what we can handle in the counseling group sessions. I mean, so the setting for the psychotherapies in hospitals, clinics, mental health, and social services agencies. Social services agencies, dinas sosial, maybe, maybe can also conclude it here, because as far as I know, for the Dinas Sosial or the Ministry of Social Affairs, they also have like a specific division uh, with psychologists, psychiatrists, and other health, mental health professionals to help them manage the apa ya, clients ya. For example, in Jogja here, we have balai, we call it balai. I don't know what to say it in English, but balai rehabilitation place that they built and specifically for children, for adolescent, and also for the beggars, gelandangan dan pengemis. They have kind of balai, kind of place that like those people live in this balai, and there are doctors and nurse, social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists that work together to enhance the clients that live there, enhance their mental health condition and their physical condition as well, to help them ready. And after that, after they feel that their condition is getting better, they will be ready to back to the community, kembali ke masyarakat. Yeah. So the size, it depends on whether open or closed-ended. So usually for the hospital, clinics, mental health, and social agencies, as mentioned here, they have a specific program. So they do not recruit the members from the community straightforwardly, but they have like targeted population. Yeah. So they give information to them, and with the cadre, I don't know how to spell it correctly. Okay, yeah, volunteer, voluntarian from the community that helps the government to reach peoples, in rural areas, especially, and they provide this kind of activities, by the supervision of the health professionals in the primary settings. For example, here in Yogyakarta, we have puskesmas, and for each puskesmas in the region of Sleman, and then the city of Yogyakarta and Bantul, they already had psychologists and also mental health programmer. They say it as programmer jiwa, in bahasa. They conduct this kind of activities, in the community. So the time that needed, around 60 to 120 or 1 until 2 hours. Regular meetings often last over a number of months or years, so quite long. It has a long duration if compares to the other type of group. Why? Because of the depth of the problem. It's more severe than the issues discussed in the psychotherapy groups is more severe than the other 3 groups. Okay. So I hope this explanation becomes clearer for you to understand the types of groups that especially in this course we will focus on the counseling groups, not psychotherapy groups and other groups. But later, we also have, based on Glading 2016, there are mixed groups and proposed regrouping of categories because of during the process, maybe they shift the goals and then switch from one type of groups into another type of group. Of course, it's all based on agreement, yeah, from the members, not the group facilitator that force them or make a decision for them. Okay, we switch from this to this. No, but it is because of the group dynamics itself, and they form new type of groups, or they like doing some kind of mixing things. Yeah, I give you the example here to make it clearer. Okay, a group that defy classification are sometimes described as mixed group because they encompass multiple ways of working. So not only by giving them education, not only by cathartic session, yeah, curhat, for example, not only by doing that, but they combine not only by one means, but they use also another means, yeah. And they may change their emphasis at different times in the development of the groups, yeah, using the evaluation of the group dynamics itself. Maybe it shifts, yeah, from time to time. Okay, overlapping and blending of group types in the same group experience often best represents in the reality of evolving practice of group work. It is stated by Ward in 2006, yeah. So in the reality setting, yeah, it can be happen like that. And most of the time, based on my personal experience as a practitioner, also handling some groups, yeah, during my professionals work, they shift, yeah, especially from the group task or group about tasking group, yeah, tasking group into also have a, you know, like a counseling session, and also have like psychoeducational session, yeah, not only not merely to finish one task, yeah, not only for the task achievement. For example, here in the USA, they have one program called Doctor Interactive Group Medical Appointment, or DIGMA. The research was conducted by Westheimer, Capello, McCarthy, and Denny in 2009. Firstly, it is a group intervention for like uh, hypertensional patients, yeah, people who have hypertension. Okay. Firstly, it discuss about health, yeah, behavioral health, and then it also have the elements of psychoeducational and letter B support group. So the member of this group, firstly, they join the group because they want to like enhance their physical health condition, how to deal with hypertension, yeah. And then they also get more information regarding their quality of life related to their health in general. And from the discussion, from the group activities and so on, they maintain a good relationship within the members, and they later become support groups. Yeah, they still exist even though the activities regarding services of behavioral health, primary care, and also the education is already done. They still join in the group, and they form a new type of group that called support group, yeah, to support one another. That's the example in the USA. And in the picture here, this is the example of my group. Firstly, there are task group, yeah, finishing their field work from master degree students, and later we also form a new type of group during the progress of this group, because of the field work only lasts for 6 months, yeah, one semester. But after that, they have to finish the report. They keep contacting the clients. For example, if the clients' problems are not solved yet, so they continue to work on it, even though the formal duration of the field work already finished. So I still accompany them and make them like giving them the assurance that they can do this, they can finish the programs with clients, yeah, as me becoming their supervisors and preparing these students to like having their next next apa not examination, like they have to defend the case that they handle, yeah, in front of HIMSI, the organization of psychology in Indonesia, so they can be uh, stated as psychologists, yeah, from this program. So the group lasts longer than it should be and shift to another type of group, not only as the first time they were built in the type of group tasking group, but later switch into another form of group. So we can call it as mixed group, and it happens in reality. Okay, and then I've already mentioned about self-help groups and mutual help groups. It's quite the same, yeah. This type of groups, self-help groups and mutual groups, yes, stated by Cole and Humphreys as a synonym. And they take two forms: those that organized by an established professional helping organization. For example, in the Puskesmas that I previously mentioned, they have program Jiwa, mental health nurse, yeah, that one of their programs is to build a support group within the caregiver of ODGJ, mental health survivors. They build a support group, and they help the member of the support group to organizing, supporting each other, organizing the group, and at sometimes they also, the programmer Jiwa also provided this group with psychoeducational activities here to give the information about how to deal with mental illness survivors and so on. Yeah, but within the group itself, they shared information without the assistance of the mental health nurse from Puskesmas. They built they built stronger bond within the group as the support group. But firstly, the group was established by professionals, yeah, the programmer, mental health nurse. And the other forms is the group that formed by the people that need the group itself without assisting of professionals workers. Yeah, those type of group originate spontaneously and stress their autonomy and internal group resources. They build the group by themselves. These groups share numerous common denominators, including the fact that they are composed of individuals who have a common or single life of focus and purpose. Sometimes they are psychoeducational, sometimes they are psychotherapeutic as well, and usually task driven. They have one goals in common, yeah, to support each other in terms of specific goals. For example, if you ever heard about the KPSI, yeah, KPSI, what is the abbreviation of KPSI? I forget. S is for schizophrenia, I believe. I don't know. Do you have ever heard about KPSI? KPSI keluarga. Maybe you can googling it. It is related to the caregiver of schizophrenic patients. They have organization. The KPSI right now, I believe it grows, become an organization. They have advisor from the psychiatrist and other mental health profession, and it grows bigger, I think. But still, it's a group of the type of self self-help groups, or support groups, because they build the group by themselves to support each other. In addition, members of this group frequently employ basic counseling techniques such as reflection, active listening, and confrontation. For the self-help groups or support groups, they want to enhance their capacities, personal capacities, how to give appropriate support toward one another. So they learn specific skills as well. So they don't have to depend on professionals, workers, but they can give support from one member to another member. A bipolar survivor, I think they have their kind of support group as well. But I'm sorry, I forgot what is the name of the group. Okay, many support and self-help groups seem to be successful, assisting their members to take more control over their lives. And they, because of that, they can function well in their daily activities. They have narrow focus. For instance, the support groups for survivors of natural disasters, such as earthquake, flood, they built the support group and had an immediate positive impacts on problem solving. So they share information, they give support one another, calming other members if they have specific issues like trauma and others. Furthermore, they may have had a preventive effect, because of the existence of the support group. The group feels safe. They have support system. So if they feels like, oh, I think I have relapse, for example, they will contact the support groups and get the assistance from the other groups, the other members of the group. So the problems do not occur as they thought earlier. Okay, like in the slide here, I wrote that it may decrease post-traumatic stress disorder by normalizing stress reactions. So when they feel like they stress or they get anxious over things, they share the feelings, they share what the thoughts, the overwhelming thoughts that may be bothering, and they get the feedbacks, and maybe after that they feel relief because of the sharing within the group. Okay, so it can help members physically and psychologically. The support group. I think it is a good idea for us to also form these kind of groups. For the social support. We have those kind of supports that help us for the mental health issues. So this is the last topic here with the multicultural competence, because we handle groups. So group members will consist of various people with various background, even though they share one specific issues or goals, for joining the group. But these issues we cannot ignore it. Multicultural counseling may be defined as counseling that integrates cultural identities and takes into account their influence on the counseling relationship process and outcome. Since we live in Indonesia, or maybe you have your plan to live abroad, for example, in USA or Australia, still you will find diversities in people, from their background. If you live in Indonesia, there are a lot of sub-ethnics, yeah, Jawa, Sunda, Betawi, and so on. Sumatra, yeah, they have they have a set of knowledge, they have a set of values, yeah, that maybe we also need to understand to help them, to help ourselves understanding their perspective, and later help them to handling their own issues. Culture consists of shared values, okay, shared values, practices, social norms, and worldviews associated with a particular culture group. I think a couple days ago, maybe this news also popped up in your social media. I think I knew it from Prambors, yeah, from Prambors radio account, if I'm not mistaken, about a young lady that complained to Grab or Gojek driver, and she gave the driver 1 star for the rating of the driver because the driver called her Mbak. Do you also find out this case in your social media? Yeah, the young lady said that, hello, this is Jakarta. You should call me non or Kak. Yeah. Okay. I think this problem arise because of the young lady's lack of cultural competence, because she didn't understand that in other part of Java, still living in Java. Jakarta is part of Java too, right? In the part of Java, not in Jakarta, Mbak, 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 we use Mbak to like to respect older women, to call it with respect, you know, using Mbak, yeah. And she at that time feels that uh, the the driver used Mbak to apa ya, humiliate or disgrace her. This is a small example about the importance of multicultural competence, not only for us as a psychologist or soon to be or wannabe psychologist, but yeah, as yeah, ordinary people, yeah, we need to understand that we have a lot of cultural background, yeah, different cultural background. We need to understand that, and not to be what do you say, take take it personally, yeah, because in some part of Jakarta, I know that Mbak usually used to call the personal assistants or home assistants, but it doesn't mean that we can generally use this kind of connotation for other settings. We need to be wise to understand the use of this kind of callings. Yeah, so this is related to multicultural issues. No need to debate on that, I think, in my personal opinion. So what do you think about that issues, guys? Do you have your opinion about that? It's very simple, I think, about the calling. Do we need to like feel offended because of that?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, Johanna.
I think I have the same opinion as you. Probably the driver would didn't mean to like look down on her.
Mm,
So, like, yeah, it depends on the area itself, and I don't think we need to, feel offended, because personally, I think Mbak is just like a very respectful
mhm,
panggilan gitu loh, Bu.
mm,
Mm-mm.
mm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Johanna, for your opinion, and also Aza in the chat box. Yes. So, do you agree with me that we need to understand this cultural competence to help you being a better, like, if you want to be not only psychologist or a counselor, but a better person understanding this cultural competence? What do you think? For not being overly reactive. Penting nggak?
I personally think it's important, ma'am. It
Okay.
kind of shows that we're, adaptable and also diverse as a person,
Mhm,
and we respect their culture as well.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yes. Ah, so as a person, as an individual, yeah, without the title of psychologist or a bachelor of psychology, it is important. Ya, apalagi if we doing our works in this area as a counselor, a psychotherapist, and psychologist, psychiatrist, and others that we mostly works with peoples. Yeah, so it's very important to understand what kind of culture here means in this discussion. Culture consists of shared values, any kind of it, practices, social norms, work views, yeah, associated with a particular cultural group. So we need to understand, even though we are not, for example, I am a Japanese. Even though I am a Japanese, I was raised in a Japanese culture during my childhood. Yeah, I think it is important for me to um, like widen my knowledge, yeah, to understand other culture values and social norms. For example, for the Sundanese people, for the Betawi, for the other specific ethnic groups from like Sulawesi or Kalimantan, for example. There's no waste of time of like try to understand many cultures. Yeah, as I said earlier, that in Indonesia we have a lot of sub ethnics, yeah, ethnics and sub ethnics, yeah. And also if we live abroad, yeah, we will live with the worldwide society that, yeah, the vast variation of them, yeah, a lot of a background. Yeah, so one point here that I want to highlight for you, that it is important for us to have this kind of empathy to understanding others. Okay, and the cultural groups may based on race. Yeah, for example, we are Asian. We need to, yeah, if we know that one of our group members, one, two, or three, for example, they are Caucasian, or they are Aborigine, or maybe Indian, and so on. Yeah, we need to like conducting kind of short study, short research, yeah, to understand uh, what kind of norms, what kind of values, that what kind of specific practices, and yeah, their rituals and so on, and that what kind of those things that I can study before I met them, before I like handling their issues in a group setting, for example. We need to prepare ourselves in this condition: ethnicity, gender, sexual identity, psychoeconomic status, yeah, disability, if there is any disabilities, age, spirituality, to name a few categories, and so on. And the extent to which a group membership is labeled as cultural depends on how broadly individuals define culture. So if we use the race and gender to define the culture, then if we have like a mixed gender group, for example, consisting of uh, females and males, a boy and a girl, for example, yeah, we need to understand the characteristic of each gender. And if we have the other information regarding our members, then it can be the cues for us to seek out for another information that may be related and relevant for us to understand the members and help us as a facilitator to facilitate the group more effectively. So these are some of the key terms of the culture and multicultural the counseling, multicultural counseling. The terms of acculturation, cultural acculturation versus enculturation, cultural dimension, cultural encapsulation, cultural identity, disability, ethnicity, ethics, gender, generational status. Yeah, from the age. Yeah, we use the like for example, to understand boomers, to understand the millennials, and so on. Okay, and the next is individualism versus collectivism if we are Asian. And then for the others, yeah, privilege versus oppression, race, sexual orientation, social advocacy, socioeconomic status, spiritually, worldview, yeah, spirituality and religion, yeah, and these are some key terms that we need to understand if we work on multicultural group settings, yeah, in multicultural counseling. Okay. Do you have any comments? Yeah, this is the further readings. Do you have any comments? I would like to stop sharing. Yes, Aza.
I want to ask regarding about the TRIC.
Okay.
Because you said that most of the groups upgraded from tasking group to another kind of group. I wonder if it can do the same if at first they're a coin group, later on they will a tasking group, or yes, tasking group is the lowest level of the group formation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Aza, for the question. I would not saying it as a what do you say, lowest lowest level. No, because they have the same actually same level if we use the term level, but the things that define them, distinguish them from one another is the goal. The goal of the goal of the goal of the group, yeah, whether it is a task achievement or process achievement, and the nature of management. Yeah, the nature of management. Yeah, whether it is facilitated by group facilitator, or they have a leader in the group. So yeah, it can be happen. They first formed as relating groups, for example, and they switch into others. Yeah, you can use it also. For example, is when I stated earlier in this session, I want you to form by yourself. You choose your friends to become your groups for doing next week activities, next week tasks. What do you think about that, Aza? What type of group first, and then switch to what kind of group?
The tasking group, I think, and later on will be changed to acquiring group.
But before you work on the task, you already know each other, right? So you already form a group before, a group of IUP student batch 2020, for example. Ya kan?
Yeah.
So what characteristic that you will be used to choose your friends for your task group after this, for example? Nah, itu.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now maybe you are in the relating group, maybe, or you are in acquiring group discussion, yeah, because you are in the same page, yeah, angkatan sama. Then you've already shared some courses, yeah, together. And then I feel like I have a click with A or B or C, and I propose to him, do you want to be my group mate, for example? Because yeah, we've already discussed a lot of things for another course, for example. Then it switched from acquiring groups, yeah, to the tasking group for these specific semesters, and vice versa. For example, because we have the time frame, yeah, different time frame, then we can switch. Firstly, we are in this type of group, and later, for example, like that. Later, the group switched into another type of group. Gitu. From this model, yeah, from this TRAC model, based on nature of management and then nature of group process. Is that clear enough, Azza?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So what about the others? Do you have any comments before I explain the information regarding our next week meeting? So as planned before, we hope that next week we have our offline session in campus. So we will conduct a practice of group counseling. Wait, I'm still waiting for comments, if any. Is enough? Okay, thank you, Mutia. So far it's pretty clear. Thank you, Dila. Okay, if you have further questions, if you want to like reread these materials or like listen to my explanation again, and then there are comments or question that pop up in your mind, please feel free to drop it in the Google Sheets. Yeah, so I can catch up with that and give my comments to respond to your questions or comments as well. Okay, thank you. And this is the plan for next week. You can learn asynchronously the materials about the personal characteristic, counseling skills, and so on in the Google Classroom. I've already provided those materials in our Google Classroom. Please check it regularly. So you can use it whenever and based on your needs, yeah, whenever you want and based on your need. So for next week, we will have the counseling practice. Okay, I would like you to create a group consists of six, this one, six students, six members. And then in one course session, you have 100 minutes, right? There will be 3 counseling practice sessions, yeah, so around 20 to 30 minutes. So for the counselor, you will get the practice score for your practicing activities. And for the other group members, you need to give the feedbacks for your counselor at that session. Yeah, that will be switch from one student to another students. Yeah, 3 students in one course session in 100 minutes. And we will doing this kind of activities for the next 2 sessions. So for you, for the peer, for the group members, they will evaluate the process of counseling exercise by filling the rubric and giving feedback. One student evaluate and give the feedback for the other 5 members of the group. So this is, I already, for this file, I already dropped it also in the Google Classroom. You can check it. You can use this as a guidance when you study the materials of the professional characteristic counseling skills and counseling skills. And later you can check what kind of the required behavior from the practicing sessions that you need to show to your friends. Okay, this we have 3 categories. Doesn't meet the target, meet target, exceed the target. These words or phrases that I highlighted in yellow, this is the main point, main skills that you need to perform. How to show the positive regards, respect, warmth, non-judgmental attitude, empathy, authenticity, congruence. Congruence mean that you have the integrity, quite the same what you are thinking, saying, and also doing, in the same pace, congruence. And then how to use the kind of questions, the open-ended question for the specific one, summarization, clarification, how to maintain structure, focus on the goals, that you as a facilitator then stated what is the goals of today's agenda, for example, and able to end the session effectively. So you have around 20 to 30 minutes to perform this kind of skills. Okay, and the counselor adequately express reflects. Okay, the fourth aspects related to the reflection, reflection, and also interpreting. Okay, you have a week to study this asynchronously, and for the next week we will have this kind of activities, and I will be there for you to give you feedback, assistance, and also guidance during the live session of our class. Okay, do you have any question about the planned activities?
I think it's clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, if you have any question later, then just drop it to the comment section of the classroom, right? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then I think that's all for today. Thank you for joining. I hope what I have explained to you just now will strengthen your understanding and expanding your like a view, point of view about the counseling, and of course a group setting, a group counseling itself that will be discussed for these all semesters. Okay, that's all from me for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for like jump into the short discussion of our class today. And so inshallah, I will see you again next Monday in the campus. Yeah, I hope you are stay healthy and safe and sound. For Sekar, can you make it to Jogja next week?
Hi, ma'am. Hopefully.
So if you cannot join the session next week, then you can take your part the week after. So because we have 2 weeks, for this practice.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you can discuss it with your friends. Yeah. Okay. So for for the question from now last week about the group, the group formation. So I can answer it right now. You can choose your own group members, yeah, to form your group. 6 members, yeah. We have for today, and for the next 2 weeks activity. Okay, then thank you Rafa, thank you Dila, and also Beatrix, yeah, for joining us and on cam, yeah, and for the other students as well. Okay, even though I cannot see your face, I believe that you are there. Oh, okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. See you next week. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, ma'am.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.